Okay, so Vikings episode 7 was just released, and we got this amazing scene with Alfred, who's a really important historical figure, so I thought it would be pretty cool to go through this scene separately from my review, talk about what I think his character could do in the coming episodes, his season, his history, what potential he has, and a whole bunch more. So Alfred is the son of Judith and Athelstan. Now Judith is married to Adolwulf, the son of the King Ecbert, and after Athelstan's death, he takes him in and raises him, along with King Ecbert, who is a big influence on the child as well. So technically he's a bastard son formed from adultery of the princess. But most of this has been hidden from the public so that he still has a legitimate claim on the throne and people actually don't know his history. Currently in the show, he's not actually in line for the throne because he has an older brother, the legitimate son of Adolwulf, who will take the throne after Adolwulf's death. So with that basic background, I want you to look at the scene we got in episode 7 and why it can indicate that this character will become your favorite and my favorite character in the coming seasons.
I never actually met Athelstan, but from what I've heard about him, he was a kind and humble man.
So straight away we see here that Athelstan knows about his parentage. He knows who his father is, he knows what he'd done, he knows a lot about his past. He wants to learn more about what he actually went through and why he was so important, but he knows he's not a legitimate heir, and he understands his role he has to play, pretend to be a son of Adolwulf. Especially as we see later on, he has ambition to rule, to protect people, to help his country, and build something great out of his ideas.
It was given to me by Ragnar Lothbrok. My Lord Abbot, all I know is that the world is not a simple place.
Now, a common theme we see with Ragnar, with Björn, and so many characters we like to follow and become our main characters is they question the ways of religion, by states, culture, everything. They're very curious, they're very rebellious, and this is true in Alfred as well, as we can already see. He's willing to tell a bishop standing in Lindisfarne, which was raided and monks were slaughtered and enslaved by Ragnar Lothbrok, and say that he's a mixed person to his face. That is ballsy, that is strong, and that is someone who's willing to question and look into every single person. And then later when he tells Bishop Egbert that they should start writing in English rather than Latin because then more people can understand it, it's quite common sense, he wants to spread that knowledge and stuff, and he wants to take away the elitist class these monks and well-educated people have above the common people. So in this scene we get to see he's bold, he's strong, he's willing to impress his ideas on others, command people, manage people, he's makes his own quote up about people being devils and angels and tells them to write it down in his sermons. And then later in the other scene we get of him lying, contemplating his father, where he says a prayer, he says he will not be humble and follow Athelstan in their steps. He has the mindset of a king. He already says if he's in the chance of rule, if he does the chance of king, he'll do certain things. He's willing to rule, he has a mindset of a ruler, and he will be brilliant at it. So we see that Vikings is giving him more screen time, giving him powerful scenes, showing his great characteristics, making a montage of his narration combined with Athelstan's of that prayer over all of the major characters as they contemplate one of the biggest events that's about to happen in the Viking world. It's clear they understand the importance of this character, they're building up to be a great character, they want to give him so much potential, and he will have so much more coming into the next season. So now I want to briefly talk about some of the future things that will happen with Alfred's storyline. Now some of this is going to be based off historical events, others will be based off the show Last Kingdom, which is based in a similar time period where he's in charge and he's king. They are a show with their own creative processes, and they do the similar thing to Vikings where they don't follow history exactly. So some of the things that happen in Last Kingdom that I'll talk about don't actually incur in history and won't be probably adopted by Vikings. But I want to talk about it anyway because Last Kingdom does Alfred's character so much justice. He's a powerful, strong character I really enjoy. He's one of my favorite characters on that show. And they can bring half of what he has from that show back into Vikings in their own way, with their own creative processes. It will be an absolutely great character that all of you guys will probably really enjoy. So the time period that we see in Last Kingdom is Adolwulf is dead, and Alfred's older brother, Ethelred, is king, but he dies very early on. After his death, he leaves the entire kingdom to Alfred because he sees him as far superior to his own son. At this point, most of England is taken over by Viking forces and only Wessex remains independent. And the majority of the story is all about the conflict between those two forces and how he fights back from Wessex using his brilliant strategy, his great charisma, and his great leadership to bring the English back and make all of England a whole kingdom again. So he has a powerful history there, he's known more for his mind rather than his body, so there's so much potential that Vikings has to work with. I think that the Alfred we get in the show right now for Vikings will be an excessively important character in Season 6 of Vikings. Now in Last Kingdom he's a lot older, a lot of time has passed, so in Vikings they could do a time jump, but I don't think it will be that significant because they won't want to change all the actors again, so it won't be a huge time jump, it will be like a few years or something like that. But I definitely want Ivar to still be the main antagonist against the English when Alfred becomes king, because we saw him building rapport with Ivar when they were playing chess, just like we saw with Hickman and Ivar now. And it always is so much more interesting when both sides, the nobility and the royalty, are very well connected. It makes everything more tragic when they go to war, it makes everything way more interesting and they know each other a bit more. So I definitely want to see Alfred be at least an important figure in the English forces when Ivar returns from his civil war in Norway. So to conclude, Alfred is a character who has so much historical importance. He's going to be the major fight over England. He's going to be the one that unites the realm together. He's going to have a lot more screen time, a lot more POV. He's going to be very, very important, have so much potential to be one of the greatest characters on the show. Maybe even more than Ragnar. He has so much potential. That's what I'm saying, potential. This actor is showing us he could probably pull it off. He's got a lot of charisma around him. He knows how to pull off the character well. So if they can keep this up, they keep making the drama, and they keep developing as this very interesting, strong-willed person who knows his way around. He has the teaching of Ecbert. He has the discipline of Aethelwulf. He has the mindset to rule. Tell me what you guys think about Alfred and what he might do in the future seasons, and what you think about historical figure if you know much about him, or if you've seen Last Kingdom. Great show, by the way. And if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel because I'm going to put out some more Vikings content for you all this season.
As we forgive those who trespass against us, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Forever.